when do you think that moment came where it's like, okay, like we're just not one of these little independent labels anymore. Something big about to happen.
I think it was the transition. The ground point was when I think we was on the road. We was hitting every city. We was doing just really getting it in. And I think what had happened was we dropped I'm Bout It, and I think it was because of the ground campaign we did before. When it came out, it just picked up, it blew up. It just was like everywhere. And that's when we knew that we had something.
Okay. And then you guys went and signed kind of a historic deal with Priority, right?
Yep, we did. We basically went in there, it probably never be done again, but we basically went in there and, we didn't need their money. So they was like, they was like 80-20 them. And we was like, never gonna happen. And they went as far as like 75-25 them. It was like, it ain't gonna happen. So what happened was we just left out there and say, okay, we'll do it on our own. They called us back a week later and they offered us a deal for 70-30 our way. So, right, and that's never been done before, but we was like, they ain't enough for us either. We want 85, we want 90-10. We settled at 85-15, which would never happen again. And that's history, you know what I'm saying?
Right, and you guys got to keep your masters.
Keep your masters, control. We had our own budget in place by that time, so everything was moving. And so, we kept the masters, we kept marketing control. We could put records out when we want to put records out, so we had everything.
Yeah, and then I kind of feel like No Limit became a conveyor belt in terms of the amount of product y'all put out. It was like y'all put out, an album a week?
Maybe once every, they had some, about 2 weeks, maybe 2 weeks, twice a month, maybe.
What was the thinking behind this? Because, there's different ways to do it, but in general, in the music industry, you try to focus on the big projects because, 10% of the projects make money, 90% of the projects lose money, and then the 10% you make money off of is paying for all the losers. So you don't want to put out too many albums, but you guys kind of did it differently. So like, what was the reason behind it?
That's good. That's good analysis too. I think when you're building a brand, when a brand is moving, let's say when Nike is moving and is making some good shoes, then people want to wear Nikes. We made the tank where it's like, it's just good. So whoever was under the umbrella was good. I think that was kind of like it, so it was more of like our branding and make that. So when you seen that tank, you was like, okay, I got to get it. Or when you seen the gold, the gold on the back with the diamonds on there, you knew what that meant. And you knew you was getting an album with mostly all the people in it. You would have me, P, Mystical, you would have the core people on every record. So if the artist wasn't known, you got another dose of the whole No Limit camp. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And you guys were jumping on each other's albums and everything else like that.
Exactly. Yep, exactly.
Okay. Now I've heard different stories when it comes to this. Was there a beef with Cash Money during this time or a rivalry or what?
Nah, it wasn't. It was funny. It never was a problem. But I think, Boss being from the same city, I think it was more of they can't get along. They too big. They too powerhouse. They must have a collision. But honestly, we didn't. We was cool. Everybody respected each other, and it wasn't never a problem. We just think I don't know why we never really did much, but I guess we just was in our own lane. That's about it.
I interviewed Turk a while back.
Yeah, we both consider signing a No Limit. It was our early age of Cash Money. We didn't have no car at the time. So me and Wayne, we used to stay at the hotels and shit a lot in Metairie. That was my road dog. That was my homeboy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we used to have sex with females, count their panties at the end of the week, see who had the most. You know what I'm saying? That's what we used to do. But One day we consider going to No Limit. You know, Master P used to put all his artists in houses, give them Rolex watches, buy them Camaros, you know, shit that young niggas wanted.
I wasn't sure about that part, but I mean, I do remember us, P having a conversation, something like that, but I don't remember exactly all the details. But I could see that happening at that time because, you know, we was popping and stuff like that, and then I think how P ran the company, people respected it. You know, he treated the artists, you know, good and stuff like that. So I think that's probably what they was looking at.
Now, at what point do you think that the No Limit started to kind of reach its peak and started to decline a little bit?
I don't think it was a peak thing. I think it was more of just everybody was just kind of burnt out on it a little bit. We was moving for a while. It was very like tiresome going through the motion every day going through the motion. So I think that was more of it. I don't think it was reaching a peak. I think it was more of how do we make a transition out of it?
So you guys were tired of rapping?
Well, I was. I don't know about everybody else, but I was definitely like, I was just saying it earlier. I was like, man, I think I was home like 25 days out the year. You know, you come back, you know, it's just like you don't really enjoy it because you come in, you give all your time to other people. So you fly in, do your rehearsal, do the show, next morning fly out. You know what I'm saying? And that was constantly for 300 shows. You just be doing them. 300 shows out of 365 days, or maybe like 250 shows, 365 days. That's a lot.
So you just reach a burned out stage.
Well, I can't speak for everybody else, but I definitely kind of did myself. It was nonstop for me. So I definitely was a little bit burnt out on it. So I kind of enjoyed myself, time being away. I really enjoyed myself and got, smarter and sharper. So that's what took me, to take off. But then I took off more time than I normally would because I got used to it and comfortable with, having some balance. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of like but yeah, I was definitely burnt out at one point.
Well, a lot of times people don't take time off because they don't have the money to take the time off. Like, they burn through everything they make, so they have to keep, doing shows and so forth. Were you at a place financially where you could take off some years and still be good?
Yeah, absolutely. That was a big factor in it. But if I didn't, I still would have took time off. It was just I wasn't having that much fun doing it because I was doing it for people. I go there and rock the show, my voice be hoarse. When I get finished, when I do a show, I go all out. And so imagine that 200 days out the year, you just going through the motion. You know me, I be wilding sometimes, so I be screaming and, getting the crowd involved in it. So that's a big deal.
I understand that mindset because I have that because you don't believe in somebody so much, you just joke on them. Like, I'm gonna joke on you. I don't believe you. Mm-hmm. So I understand it, but I want hip hop, period. To stop the shenanigans with that type of shit. Like, yo, motherfucker, rap, go rap.
My monthly overhead for my household and household employees was somewhere in the neighborhood of $1 million a month I was spending.